Did I scare ya? Welcome back to Fans of Something, or just me, the one fan of something, and today I'm a fan of Junji. Now, this is definitely out of the norm for this channel. Talking anime, manga, foreign spookies? What craziness. But I am a huge fan of my guy, Junji. And I have been for some time now, and I would like to take this episode to shine some light on the spookies that go on the other side of the world. Cut this part out, I didn't catch my breath. So, Junji Ito, if you don't know who he is, shame on you. It is spooky month, do your research. But Junji Ito, he is a Japanese manga artist, primarily, but he does do some other stuff, we'll get to that. And he's known for his grotesque and macabre H.P. Lovecraft type imagery. He's really unique in what he does and definitely caught my attention. If you are a fan of Japanese horror, then most likely you do know who he is because he is like the guy ever. For some reference, he was originally supposed to work on the Silent Hill games. Fun fact. But what I know him best for, my own personal world of Junji Ito, is his manga and his anime adaptations. His main works are sort of like short story compendiums. Think like Stephen King, how he has his books of short stories all compiled into one. He does that too. I don't have any to showcase right now because personally I am more of a fan of his greater works, like who I have on my shirt. I'll get a better view of that. Spoiler alert. Who I have right here, and who I have right here, Tomie. So, this is arguably one of his most well-known. Arguably. Just because of how much different, like how many different adaptations there are. The name itself is well-known. There was a movie based on her. She has her own little segment in either one or both. I can't remember. He has two sort of like animated short story things. There's the Junji Ito collection, and then the one on Netflix is the Japanese Tales of the Macabre. I know she's featured in that one. But basically, who she is in this big hunker of a book is Tomie is this sort of succubus hellspawn girl who, like, she just can't die. There's her. This is one of the most unique Funko Pops that I have because it's literally, that glare, her, and then her sort of coming out of her own face, that different sort of mold. Most beautiful looking young girl, and she even has like a little beauty mark on her cheek that you can see. The slick back black hair, most beautiful eyes. She could charm any man, but in making any man fall in love with her, they simultaneously want to kill her every single time, without fail. Every man who loves her then wants to kill her. And this isn't one big work. There are some overarching stories that go through, like, this is the entire collection. These were released as individual, sort of like bite-sized little stories. This is all of it. This is the entire run of Tomie. Yeah, it's just, all these stories are different ways that she sort of is this infestation into people's lives and how she ends up getting out of it. It's really interesting. Just to see how she just fucks over all of Japan and she'll never die. Going to the next, this is why I say arguably on Tomie being the biggest of his work, because there is Uzumaki. which translates to spiral, or like that sort of formation. Just spiral. Not from the Book of Saw. God damn it. Also, like, the imagery in this, like, I plan to get a tattoo based on one of the images in this book. Because it's just so eerie and creepy. The story behind this one is that this small town in like a rural, can't say that word, Japan, gets infected with the curse of the spiral. And you may be thinking, ooh, spirals. No, not true. Nobody really knows where it comes from, but when people see spirals, like in any sort of formation, like even the one that's sort of, you could sort of see on this cover, they just get like entranced with it, so much so that they become the spiral. And that's all fine and dandy until the whole town becomes a spiral, and our protagonists are trying to stop it. It doesn't really, well, you can find out if that works out for them. Now, you can look at these books and go like, damn, that's a lot of reading. I can't read. Well, if you've never seen a manga before, let me tell you. And I'm holding it like this for a reason. Like, it's not backwards. Well, for us Americans, it technically is, but the Japanese read from right to left. So that's the way their books are. And because it's a pain in the ass to, take a whole book and flip it rather than just, translate the inscriptions, they just left it like this for us American audiences. And see, you got some beautiful artwork here. Yeah, I meant to show the one tell me. Absolutely gorgeous. Junji Ito, he is a wonderful storyteller, a wonderful artist. Yeah, see, so manga is just it's glorified comics, if you will, for older audience. So it's not really that much reading. It's more like you're reading a movie, like a script. Like you're playing it out in your head as you're reading. Really cool. Going down my list, I also have gyo. Now, the word gyo it sort of means fish. Sort of. This one is a little shorter. So I like to get the big hunkin' books because I tend to go through these really quick. So I try and savor them. But, I gotta have some. And plus, I just really love this, like, sort of collection, how they're all uniform. Really beautiful. Look at that. And just sitting on the shelf next to each other. Amazing. This one has to do with what would happen if fish had feet. So this curse, I guess, it's these robot guys. I don't really remember what they're for, but they're bad. They attach themselves onto the aquatic life, and the fishies start running rampant on the streets. So it's an apocalypse of fish with legs. Now you know why I say H.P. Lovecrafty. Little bizarre, but still interesting. You see, I have yet to find a bad Junji Ito story, because no matter what it is, no matter how far out of left field it is, I still get interested. It's just, and plus, like, the pictures alone, it's like, God, like, how sick and twisted can they make these things? And it's really gory. If you have a weak stomach, I don't know if, like, pictures in a book will turn you, but it's enough for that alone. Like, when I say he's really talented, Junji Ito's really talented. The next one I have is another beautiful one. Emina. Beautiful. And this, the more I thought about it, and that's a planet, by the way. Ta-da. The more I thought about it, this is basically the plot of Don't Look Up, if you've ever seen that movie on Netflix. Kind of. It takes some liberties. But I don't actually know which one came. I think this one came first. But it's this planet comet thing that's discovered heading toward Earth. And it's named after Remina. And like thinking that it's some sort of great discovery, like, oh my god, like we're so smart and brilliant for discovering this, only to realize that it's heading toward Earth to kill them. And people are trying to stop it, and it's not stopping. So it's like, all right, if we can't stop it, we have to get out of Earth. And that's what happens, basically. But like all of these, nothing ever goes well for our protagonists, and that's maybe also why I love them so much, is that they're not your stereotypical Hollywood endings. They suck for the protagonists. I eat this shit up. This is a recent edition, really short, as you can see that, really tiny, but it packs a big punch. So this is Black Paradox. I also, if y'all have noticed, I take a liking to hardcovers. I don't even know if there are paperbacks for these, but I love a nice hardcover, and it even has this sort of rainbow effect on the lettering. Really beautiful. And some, I'm holding it upside down. I was holding it upside down. Don't look at me. You have Black Paradox. You got some art of our characters. This one is about these 4 people. They meet up because they have a common interest. They want to kill themselves. I don't think I could say that on YouTube. They want to cease to exist. There we go. And they figure they don't want to do it alone, so they all decide to meet up on this, like, from this chat room, and they're gonna do it together. Really, like, and can I take a second to mention the character design? Like, he has this distinct style, so that, like, you know they're his characters, but they're all done with so much, like, care. Like, I don't know. I just really, really love his work. I am such a big fan. Like, look at that. Amazing. It's amazing. I love it. But this one, this last one that admittedly I should have been done with. But, you know, time. It's a thickie. This is actually, so this one is really different from the bunch that I just showed. This one is not his own story. This is Junji Ito's manga adaptation of No Longer Human, a story that was originally by Osamu Dazai. It is known for being one of the most tragic, depressing, eerie, creepy, sad stories ever. Yeah, this one is definitely hard to get through because this is, so Dazai is like a known, like, sociopath, not psychopath, I don't think, but he's just unable to register, feel emotions like we do, like a normal person does, so it makes living life harder for him, hence why he doesn't feel human. It's essentially an autobiography that Junji Ito decided to make a picture book about. I don't mean to say it like that, but it's a really in-depth character study of this man and how it's like to see the world through his eyes and how bleak and foreboding it is, and it's so sad. Like, I don't know, it's really sad because it, like, the rest of these, they're fiction, right? So, like, there's really no big planet heading toward our Earth or, you know, fish with legs. This is a real guy, and it's very sad. I have not read the actual novel, but if I end up, you know, being as immersed in the story after reading Junji's, which I imagine I will be, I can see myself picking up that book. And with that being said, that is my own personal world of Junji Ito and my love for the scary, creepy, and macabre stuff that he does. If any of this sound like your thing, don't judge a book by its cover. Pick them up at your local Barnes & Noble, Second and Charles, Books A Million, what have you. Give them a shot. I know Eddie's not a big fan of foreign media just because it's so otherworldly, but we've sat down and I've gotten him to watch a few episodes of Tales of the Macabre with me, and he seemed to enjoy it, unless he was lying to me, but I don't think he would do that to me. So, I don't know, just give it a try. It's something different, it's spooky season, broaden your horizons, and speaking of broadening your horizons, you want to see more spooky stuff? Check this out over here. It's the rest of our playlist of all spooky things, 31 days of spooky videos. Check out our channel right here. And there's more things that we're fans of other than spooky things. And, as always, keep being fans of spooky.